Guys, I've got a huge surprise for you today. We've got the second best grappler in the whole world here. His name is Craig Jones.
Dad, you came back. Why did you leave me?
Obviously, this is going to be an emotional experience, maybe even more emotional than you taking me down the other night.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say, man? I'm just a better wrestler. That's all there is to it.
You definitely were the better wrestler, Jeff. But tell me, where are we today?
So we're in Renon. This is where we originally started to come in to start our school. So we came in here about 14 years ago. So when we originally came in, we started teaching in here. So
This is where you started teaching?
This is where we started teaching. Permisi ya, Pak. Pak. So they grow vegetables down the back, and then she'll sell them at the pasar, at the market. Ah, this is the one. Smell this. Yum.
Oh, wow.
How does that smell?
Very fresh.
You use it, after you eat chicken, use it to wash your hands.
Oh, that's what they do with it?
Yeah.
Tell me about where we are and how you ended up here.
Okay, so long story, but this is AK Gym, Academy Christus, in Sanur in Bali. So I left home at 14. My dad killed himself when I was 14. Moved out of home, drugs, alcohol. When I was 18, I traveled around Australia in a combi for 2 years. Ended up in Cairns, and then from Cairns I came over to Bali on a holiday. That was 23 years ago. Haven't really been back. I started off in Java, working as a teacher. So after working at that school for about 8 years, I realized that life wasn't just about making money and buying a house and doing all the things that most regular people do. So my wife and I made the choice to sell our house and sell everything we owned and move over to Bali. So we came over to Bali 13 years ago, and we started going into what we call the kampung, which is a slum, for want of a better term, where we were today. And we started teaching the kids in there, just on a tarp, teaching them English, teaching them art and craft, just hanging out with them. And then slowly, bit by bit, we've grown. It took us 4 months before we got some paving down and we got electricity. It was 2 years before we got toilets. So the kids would run back to our house, which is just down the back there. And then 2 years ago, we started a second campus. So it's always been about community. It was 100% the jiu-jitsu community that started things off. I mean, if you look behind us here, we've got 90 gis. Every one of those gis was donated.
Yeah, well, that was what was so incredible is when we wanted to help you, you didn't just ask for money. You said what we need is computers to help these kids become more self-sufficient and have careers.
Money doesn't solve problems. Like, you can throw money at any problem, it just doesn't fix it. You have to provide opportunities, education, skill development, employment that can help them to help themselves. Yeah, so we started here, and then, you know, Irma, we had our third kid, and we had to stop coming here. And a friend of ours from Red Frog, his name's Woon, he's a top guy. He went back and told his jiu-jitsu coach, Jamie, at Renegade, that, you know, we needed a place, basically. He ran the grappleathon, and he taught jiu-jitsu non-stop for 33.5 hours. They raised, all clubs from Melbourne came together, and the goal was to raise $10,000 to start up AK in Bali, they raised $10,014. And the transfer fees, the bank fees, $14. So that got us started at our gym, and we've been there for 8 years now.
That's what helped take you from under the tree to the physical.
Exactly, the jiu-jitsu community, man. Like, and every gi that we've got at AK, you'll see later, they're all donated. Hello, 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 si kecil. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Got a wrestler's grip.
Strong grip.
Berapa minggu sekarang? 2 months old.
2 months old. Beautiful. Oh, really? Very cute.
Bye, guys.
See you guys. Thank you.
How long have you been training for, total?
14 years total. But for me, like, I still feel like a white belt. Nothing comes naturally to me in jiu-jitsu when it comes to, like when I was younger and fitter, yeah, sure, go out and try and crush people. I had some bad injuries, and then I came back to jiu-jitsu just to teach. What teaches you perseverance better than jiu-jitsu? You've got someone on top of you trying to smother you and choke you. You've got to find a way out. And maybe you tap, you give up, you do it again. And eventually you learn that you can get out of any situation. If you just keep a clear mind, focus, work hard, you'll find a way out. So I think for all these kids, jiu-jitsu is an incredible tool. It gives them confidence, it gives them discipline, it teaches them that they can persevere, and it translates directly to life in so many ways. Guys, what's the first rule of jiu-jitsu? Lilu.
Don't do jiu-jitsu, you're not supposed to do it.
Good. How do you get somebody to stop? Billy.
Tap.
Where's the best place to tap? Farida.
Tap on the other person.
These guys are going wild.
Yeah. The fighting chickens are the ones. You get the fighting cock, and they look after them really well.
Oh, really?
And they go for it.
They have some here.
National sport. Yeah. Sini ada ayam yang itu bertarung. Di mana? Mana? Bisa lihat? Check them out. These are the fighting cock. So they'll get them together and they'll practice them. And then when they fight, they put little blades on their legs.
Oh, really?
They get them really ready because then when they fight, of course,
Still there.
so they want to make sure they're ready. And she said there's a few around here as well.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, that's what inspired me to sort of do this series, is because through jiu-jitsu, I've been able to travel the world and really take a lot, especially a lot from local communities, people paying to learn jiu-jitsu from me. So part of this series is really to find people in local communities of these countries I get to visit. But obviously we find people like you to be able to help through this series.
Appreciate it, mate.
What possessed you to want to go down this path where your goal wasn't just to make money, but your purpose is really to help people?
Quite honestly, it was God. So, you know, I was an atheist growing up in Australia, doing drugs, thought it was, you know, an absolute joke. And I encountered God. And so I reevaluated my whole life. But also, like, we've got a friend who came over once and he said, what you guys do is so selfless. But I think it's the opposite. I think it's selfish. I think all people are created to serve others, to have a purpose. So the position we have in this community and the purpose that we have for our lives, you can't buy that. You could have all the money in the world, but you can't buy, you know, relationships and the respect of other people. You have to earn that. And because when we started doing this, we had no money, you know, nothing. We basically, you know, just did it off our own backs. We had no choice but to just go in there very humbly, spend time with the kids, teach them on a tarp under a tree for years. If we had a lot of money in the beginning, we would have built a big fancy facility, would have been a completely different vibe. The religion is like extremely complex. They have days where they have to give offerings to everything made of metal. They have days where they give everything like to do with schooling and education. They have days when they have to do like different days for different things. So they have a special calendar. There's a Balinese calendar which is just for offerings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Tadi ada hari untuk sumbang yang dari besi, ada yang dari pendidikan, ada yang ini.
I'm from present ceremony in Saraswati in lagi satu minggu nih.
Today we met Gaffer, and you were telling me how he was bullied very badly and he had to drop out of basically high school, right? Could you tell me a bit more about Gaffer's story?
So Duffer's one of our original students from 14 years ago. He works as a Gojek driver, so basically delivering stuff on motorbikes. And his goal is to get a car so he can, step up a little bit in earnings. But we've got quite a big vision for him in the future.
How many foreigners do you think actually get an insight into that world, or even local Indonesians?
Very, very few. So most people who come to Bali know Kuta Beach, they know Canggu, they know the party scene, they know the surf scene, they know Ubud. Very, very few people realise that there are these communities on the outskirts. And in reality, they're not really that hidden. The thing I find is, we went in today to visit all these people. They're offering us a drink, they're offering us, stuff that they've been picking from their garden. They're so hospitable, and yet they have so little. So even though these people are, for want of a better word, quite poor, they have amazing perseverance, amazing personalities. All they need is an opportunity. And that's where the problem is. It's hard to get an opportunity when you're right at the bottom. This is all asbestos.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's cheap.
This is where Duffer lives?
This is Duffer's house. Bapak nanam apa aja, Pak?
Cabai.
Chilies.
Nanti maunya ini kembang nanti.
They're gonna plant stuff over there as well.
Kembang.
The peanuts here.
He sells them to the markets?
Dijual atau makan sendiri? Jual ya?
Kalau kembang itu dijual.
Yep, sells them. Pak Sucondro.
Sucondro.
Craig.
Pak Craig namanya.
Oke.
Yeah.
Tarung. Kalau saya sehat mau adu ya.
He said if he was healthy, he'd take you on.
Oh, yeah.
Iya.
I have 2 challenges.
Jadi harus lawan dua-duanya ya? Bapak sama anaknya?
Kalau saya kungfu.
He used to do kung fu in the army,
really?
But he can't do it anymore. Hit by the tree, hit him right on the back of the neck, and that was it. He's basically. Tapi bapak masih berusaha kan?
Berusaha.
Yeah.
Yang penting mau gini apa, belum minta mati dulu.
Yeah.
Makanya usaha untuk pakai kerja apa.
Yeah. Whatever work he can do, he does. So he does this.
Can you talk a bit about how Jiu-Jitsu creates a community? Because say for me, like we filmed in this location because I showed up to Bali MMA and met such a bunch of interesting characters, and I feel like that's the story wherever I've traveled with Jiu-Jitsu, and you're obviously using Jiu-Jitsu to help the local communities.
As I said, it was the Jiu-Jitsu community that got us started. We've got sponsors that have, from day one, given $1 a day, $5 a day. They've sewn into it. It all started from Jiu-Jitsu people. Like, if you train Jiu-Jitsu, anywhere you go in the world, you walk into a club and you've got family. Jiu-Jitsu is unique. I've boxed, I've done Taekwondo, I've done other martial arts. They're all great, but there's something about Jiu-Jitsu. When you find someone else who grapples, you've got family. And again, this is not me, it's a whole community of people. My wife, my kids, the Jiu-Jitsu community. It's a whole community of people that have made this happen where it is now. And now you're one of them.
Now I'm one of them. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Jeff.
My hands not.
Seth, as an American and a Texan, you are notorious for taking things very seriously. Some might say even very seriously in terms of emotions. Can you talk to me about how special Christmas is to you?
Yeah, I think Christmas is a very special time of year. I think it's a reminder for everyone to focus on giving back, not just receiving gifts. So yeah, I take it serious. I think it's a special time of year where, you know, you get together with your family and your loved ones and the unfortunate, and you're able to give something back and lift somebody up that maybe not have as much as you. And so yeah, I think it's a good time of year for sure, and an emotional time of year, I would say.